It was pretty clear when you came here 6 years ago that United Front, or Temple Landing, was very much cut off from the surrounding community. There was a crime problem. The kids across the park would hang out at night, would get into trouble, and then they'd run into United Front because police couldn't get here. And the place developed a bad reputation because it was indefensible.
Basically, Temple Landing, formerly known in New Bedford as United Front Development, was a housing development that was planned in the 70s. It was an urban renewal project that really was downtrodden and was poorly designed.
At the time, it was a good idea. We had a community within a community. But things changed. The whole New Bedford community changed. Therefore, the concept of no streets within the development became detrimental to the development.
The number of offline units, damaged units, vacant units grew to be 50 out of 200, which is pretty hard to have a sustainable community when a quarter of it is boarded up and vacant.
Temple Landing came to us as a very big challenge, frankly, because it had more deterioration, it had significant issues in the community, it was highlighted by the local community as a source of crime. We took it on because we felt that our experience led to that place and that it was the right thing to do. But it meant we had to do more demolition, we had to do a more complete redesign of the site than we have had to in other situations.
Amy and Roger and their entire development team came in to see me early in my administration and said they had a real desire to work in New Bedford and specifically work at the United Front housing development. And at the time I indicated that I wanted the entire area raised and reconnect the streets and build a new development, or I wasn't really interested in talking about it.
POAH and United Front Development Corp really took a look at that and made connections to the neighborhood and made improvements and revitalized buildings and built new buildings, keeping in character with the neighborhood, and really made a positive change.
I think Temple Landing really captures what makes me proud of doing this work and of having the team that I have here. The way we had to work with state credits, with federal credits, with the needs and demands of the bank lenders was very complex, and I think that Reznick helps us do it exactly right, make sure that all of our records, all of our procedures are exactly right, and that's a big relief.
What it comes down to is if you don't have great partners, it's not going to work. So whether it's POAH, Reznick, whoever was involved from the standpoint of the private sector, the contractors, what you needed to do in this case was say, what do you need from the governmental standpoint to have this happen? And then make sure that we got it done. From the private sector, you couldn't get better expertise.
What makes me most proud is that we could work together and come up with a plan on a piece of paper and then make that plan happen.
What Temple Landing has done is integrate this beautiful area of the city back into the neighborhood and completely refurbish each and every one of these buildings, whether or not they were taken down or whether they were completely rehabbed. It brought up the quality of housing for everyone in this area. So what happened, in essence, is tremendous pride was instilled with the people who live at Lewis Temple Landing. It became something where it went from something that drew on the fears of people in our city to being something that people look at very positively now.
When you came down here doing the renovation and reconstruction, I mean, you see the heavy equipment knocking down buildings, and then all of a sudden you say, oh my word, where are we going? I mean, you look at a pile of dirt where a building stood, it's an empty hole, and I said, wait a minute. Then all of a sudden, we've got this, and I'm happy about this.
For the 40 years, people had a roof over their head. And we still want to keep it that way, but with a better attitude.
People were waiting to move out. Now people are waiting to move in. That waiting list has grown, and that's a good thing. And I think that's Yeah, it speaks well of the development.
Today we've got 173 families living on the site, and we're 100% occupied.
The whole city was so surprised and was happy. I'm very proud of the work that has been done and what we've done with POAH as a partner.